Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the word librería, which sounds like library in English, but it does not mean this at all because it is another one of our false cognates or our false friends with Spanish and English. So the word librería, we're going to be looking at what this means and also how we can say a library in Spanish. Before we get started, you might hear librería used by some native Spanish speakers to refer to a library, and it is used in a couple of dialects, but as a more formal rule of language, librería is used to refer to a bookstore rather than a library. And instead of using librería for library, we use biblioteca. Alright, so let's first look at librería. As I mentioned, we use this when we want to refer to a bookstore, so somewhere where you are going to buy books. And the examples between librería and a library, they're gonna really sound kind of similar because you just have to know that when you're going to a bookstore, you're going there to buy a book. And if you say like, I'm in the store, I'm in the bookstore, I'm in the library, it's not really gonna sound different in that context because you're just saying I'm in and then that place. So the sentence will show you how you can use the word in a sentence, but whether you would use librería or biblioteca is going to depend on whether you want to refer to a bookstore to buy books or a library to rent books or to go to study. Alright, I hope that that makes sense and it's not just too much of me rambling. Anyway, let's get on with a couple of examples with librería. Días después preguntaron por él en la librería. Days later, they asked about him in the bookstore. Días después preguntaron por él en la librería. You could also say, había otras en la librería que habrían provocado un desmayo. So there were others in the bookstore that could have caused a blackout. Había otras en la librería que le habrían provocado un desmayo. And a third example with librería, se dirige hacia la librería y empieza a revolver entre los libros. So he heads to the bookstore and starts rummaging between the books. So again, like you can kind of see hopefully now what I was trying to explain before is that whether you are referring to a library or a bookstore is how you're going to decide which word you use, librería or biblioteca, and the sentences themselves could be used to talk about either one. It's just going to be specific to whether you want to refer to a library or a bookstore. Alright, so now let's see how we would use biblioteca. So now we want to refer to a library, we're going to rent books, or going to study, or otherwise using a library. En la biblioteca lo encontrarás. So you could say, in the library, you'll find it. En la biblioteca lo encontrarás. Or maybe la biblioteca estaba casi vacía. The library was almost empty. La biblioteca estaba casi vacía. And a third and final example for biblioteca, tenemos una buena biblioteca de registros. So this one is specific to a library because we're saying that we have a good library of records. Tenemos una buena biblioteca de registros. Alright, I hope that you guys found this video useful for learning the difference between a biblioteca and a librería. If you liked it, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If you have, thank you so much. We have grown so much over just the last month that it's even been around. So thank you so much for subscribing and for being part of my channel and my growth. I really appreciate it so much. So thank you guys. And I will see you guys back here for my next video on Monday and Thursday of my regular uploading schedule. Ciao!